Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Y'all, this is take two. I was 15 minutes into the last video, and I was so scattered and all over the place. I was like, let me just stop right now. Just stop and start over. First of all, it's hot as all get out today because we had a pounding rainstorm last night. It was so bad that it was just absolutely horrendous. I couldn't sleep, and so I will be posting a short later on so that you can hear 1 minute of what we went through last night. Okay? And I looked out the window at 4. I got up out of the bed. I couldn't sleep anyway, so I laid there. I watched my favorite show, Maine Cabin Masters, on my Discovery Plus app. And so that's what I watch when I can't sleep. I just binge off of Maine Cabin Masters. I love that show, y'all. Love it. Who watches that? Tell me if you watch Maine Cabin Masters on DIY or Discovery Plus. But anyway, I looked out, and that piece of wood has maintained my roof. I don't know when Robert's friend is going to be able to get by here. Hopefully after I get back from my trip next week. I'll have Robert to contact him, but he's a very busy man because he does roofing, he does tree cutting, all kinds of stuff. He's a jack of all trades. So I've got to get in where I fit in. But my job seems to be an easy one for him, so I'm quite sure he'll make it here. And if he doesn't, at least I know that the wood will do the trick. So if push comes to shove, and let's say for some reason the job doesn't get done before winter, I can go and get some wood. I'll just measure out and then prop that wood up, and that will keep the wood from touching the poles, just like that wood that's going along the side to begin with. And so that will work, and that will save the frame and structure of the greenhouse over the winter. So at least I know that that system works. I wasn't sure at first, but now I am sure. But I will have to do as JD suggested. He said stand the beams up like you would do like in a basement or whatever. He said if you stand your wood up against the plastic, you'll be okay. I just don't want it to get punctured. Now that can happen. But you know what? It'll be a lot cheaper buying some more greenhouse tarp than it would be a greenhouse, although the tarps are expensive too. But you know, I've seen the ghetto way too, where they say if you don't want to replace the tarp, you can cut your own from just regular plastic. You know, what you use on your windows in the winter time. They said that's a much cheaper option, but you would have to vent it. You know, you would have to get your ventilation for it. And what I would probably do is not vent it and then kill everything later. Okay, I'm rambling, so let me move on. Okay, so anyway, I just got the strawberries planted, so let's walk over here. And yes, let me show y'all me. I'm a sweaty mess because I walked in here and it was 95 degrees. I didn't get out till late because I was up all night, and I didn't wake up till after 4 p.m. today. I actually woke up early, but then I fell back to sleep and woke up at 4 p.m. Anyway, I got them all done, but that one right there, that one hasn't developed its roots because I just cut that one last week. But it has a teeny tiny one, so it's starting. It'll be ready by next week. So I got 1, 2, 3, and I'm counting the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and with that 14 strawberry plants, all white pine. And that will be numbers 15, 16, and 17 right there. It's 3 on that one. I took the Ozarks and I carefully took them out, and although it is thriving and growing, let me get this, I did put a little bit of chicken manure in there and some worm castings just to give it a little boost. But anyway, and then I amended this soil. This soil came from that pepper bucket. It was already amended, but I added some strawberry amendments. I added a little berry bloom, just a tinge of soil acidifier, chicken manure, and earthworm castings to this soil, and then I planted them out. Okay, and then this one, I put in the Ozarks, I put in with the pinkies. I think that they will marry well, so we will see how that works out. I'll keep an eye on the little Ozarks if I have to put it in its own container, because I save all my containers, as you can see down there amongst the horde. Let's see. So I can always transfer that little Ozark into one of those smaller containers and let him thrive by himself. And then I can place him somewhere else. Because remember, I'm going to have that table next year and everything's going to be mixed. Look at my my pinkies, y'all. I'm almost ready. They've turned pink, but they're not quite ready. I've got maybe 3 or 4 more days on those. And then more blooms. This is an ever-bearing plant. I thought it was one of those, not June bearing, but I thought it was one of those mid bearings where it bear and then it stops by August. But no, I found out that this is ever bearing. So that's wonderful. So I'll get strawberries all summer at the rate that this thing is going. Okay. So, and this slug, he was actually, it's 2 of them. They were actually caught yesterday. I didn't see them until after I went off camera. So, yep, I caught 2 slugs, or 3 on yesterday, that baby one, and then these 2. Didn't catch any today. So, as you can see, I have more runners coming out of this one. Here's a runner. Ooh, that one's gotten long. He's just about ready. That one coming out, and then I have another one right here. So I have 3 runners. I'm gonna wait until the top open to them, and then I'm gonna get those transferred. I might let this one stay because he's so long. He's long enough where I can let him plant inside the thing. And that will be my last propagation of the season of strawberries. From that point on, every strawberry that runs off of this white pine will be placed right there into the same crate. And I have another one coming. If you look down into the crown there, that one will go into, I'll let it take root on its own inside of the mulch. And then that's how I will overwinterize that. Same for these. These are just my regular June bearings, but they were so good I'm gonna keep them, because I was gonna get rid of this plant, but oh, they were delicious. Look at that. Eggplant decided it wants to suddenly grow. So I'm gonna let it do its thing. Oh, I discovered that this squash here, which I have a tag in saying yellow squash for summer, is actually a patty pan, y'all. Look at there. So he's gonna have to go out into the garden. I might put him into the keyhole garden. And I lost my patty pans, y'all, all 3 of them, because of the storm. I'll show y'all that in a minute. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to tell you, and then we're going to go and survey the damage, because, oh, I took a hit last night, and I took some losses, some big losses last night. The first thing is, I meant to tell y'all yesterday, remember when I said it was something I had to say and forgot what it was? I remembered. Okay, what it is now that I have 102 members, and welcome to my new members. I'm just growing here. 100 members to me is like 100,000 to the big people out there in YouTube land, okay? I'm just a small channel, and as you can see, this is just a mess. But I think people come here because they notice how friendly I am, which I am. I'm friendly, and I'm poor. So I'm just showing how you can make it work, even when you're poor and friendly, okay? So anyway, that's me. And I'm a friend to all. I don't mistreat people and all that stuff. So I had to get some of that water, y'all. Sorry. But anyway, we won't even dwell on that. But anyway, so I decided, since I'm just about, since I'm growing here, I'm going to, and I've hit the algorithm. That's another thing. How I know I hit the algorithm is, first of all, a few people have told me that they found me through the algorithm. And secondly, I have noticed that I get commercials now. You know how when you click on a YouTube video, there were never any commercial interruptions, and now all of a sudden I get commercials, especially anyone that has hit over, I think it's over 50 views, then there it is, a commercial will pop up at some point. Wish it was my commercial. So if you out there in YouTube land and you do commercials, hey, I can do one for you. Wait a minute. But anyway, so I decided I have a bill from Best Buy that will be paid off early on Wednesday of this week. In fact, I had until October to pay it off interest free. And so I'm early on it, and I decided I'm gonna go on and get a camera. I've been researching cameras for months, actually almost a year, because I started to buy one when I used the Best Buy card last year to make the purchase that I made. But I decided to wait. But when I had spoken with the man about it, he had told me that there are some cameras out there and they're not that expensive. And you know, I don't know if you all have a Best Buy in your city, but they sell the open box. So that means if someone has brought something back, because the box has been open, they'll sell it to you cheaper. So they have open box items. And so I'm looking to hopefully buy an open box camera. You know, nothing's wrong with it and everything. They make sure, you know, because I bought, what did I buy? Open box. Was it my computer mouse? It might, oh, my keyboard. I bought my keyboard open box. So I got it a lot cheaper than what it would have been had I bought it brand new. And it was brand new. I mean, it's just that the box had been open. I think it was still wrapped in the plastic, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I got it a lot cheaper. I saved well over probably about 75% on it. It was over half. I know that. I think I paid $20 for my keyboard for my computer. And I think I got the mouse too, because I bought one of those nice mice. I call them mice, but I bought a nice mouse that fits into your hand just right. I have to show it to y'all one day. But anyway, so yep, so I'm gonna go on and pull the trigger after I get back, because I want to shop real well and I want to shop wisely. So it's probably gonna take me no telling how long to pick out what I decide to get. But there are cameras that where you can edit either right on the camera, or you could plug the camera into your desktop computer, and when you upload videos, it comes with its own program and stuff. And I hear it's very easy to do. And then you can edit, you can add music, you can, you know, pause, which is a feature I would like. I think my videos would be a lot shorter if I could pause, but I can't pause on this phone. Now my last phone, which was an Android, I could pause, but this one I cannot pause. And if someone happens to call while I'm on camera, it will cut the film off. And this is an iPhone. Had I known that, I would have gone and got another Android, because an Android, I can actually say I like the Android better. But the iPhone was more convenient because I have an iPad, so I can, you know, I can intertwine everything. So that's the reason why I went with the iPhone. And so I've got one more year on this thing, and then my contract will be up, and you can best believe I will be going back to my Android. It might cost me, but believe me, I learned my lesson. Okay, so anyway, so I'll be getting the camera, and so I'll be able to do a better job at filming and all that. I'll still be my authentic self, but I can at least shorten the length of these videos, get to the point, cut out mess that like sipping the water and all that stuff that I may not want y'all to hear, and all that and all those things. And I'm gonna get a nice stand, a nice tripod, so that I can film better and, you know, do all the things that makes videos look nice. Yep. And the phone is fine, you know. In fact, when I had mentioned, a friend had told me, well, your phone is doing just fine when I watch your videos. I think it is. I think it has a great camera, and I think it does okay. It's just that it's some features that I know that a small digital camera would I would benefit from that. And I can take pictures of family and, you know, things like that. And I mean, it's just so much more I can do with that. Sorry, y'all. Don't want to pass out in here. Okay, so I rambled enough, so let's get on to the storm damage. Okay. First of all, my raspberry got his behind whooped. He's probably begging to come back in. This is from the storm. That rain was pounding, and it pounded my raspberries. But I still got my blossoms there. But it pounded me good. And what are these, y'all? Well, gotta send it to the upper room. Dang, raspberry beetles already. Golly. Okay. Pounded my flowers, and as you can see, the stems are beginning to die, so I probably will end up cutting this bush down because it's full of weeds. I pulled a lot of weeds out of it today. I don't know if you see them there on the ground. I just went into the middle, and there's still more. And because of those weeds, if I mow this down or weed whack it down, I can get those weeds out of there, and it'll just be bare dirt for the rest of the summer. And yeah, the weeds will come back, but I'll be able to get them. I'll be able to get them pulled. You wouldn't even think I cut on Monday. Look at this whole area, just horrible. More male flowers on the diva cucumber, y'all. I think I'm gonna name this cucumber RuPaul, since it's a diva cucumber and supposed to develop all female flowers, but it's developing male. So here's RuPaul, y'all. Okay, so this is the Crenshaw. I think yesterday I said this was the Korean Miller. It's Crenshaw, y'all, and it's just about up there. What I'm wanting it to do is reach the clothesline. Wait, let me get it aimed. See how high it is? Robert, my beanstalk is catching up with yours. And my sunflower survived that storm, y'all. No problems whatsoever. Although I'm scared of the head because it's kind of loose on there. Although it's intertwined in the string, that head could blow off. This one I'm not too much worried about. Although it's still looking kind of bad there, but that's all right. It survived, okay? It never would have survived last night if I hadn't, you know, battened down the hatches with it. Then I had some damage over here, not much though, at the keyhole garden. One of my peppers took a beating, but he seems to be perking up now. And so although it's already wet in there from the rain, I added a little more water to it to see if I could help it along, and it seems to be doing better. It was totally drooped when I came out here. Surprisingly enough, the cauliflower, it doesn't look any worse than it did yesterday. It's still looking bad though, but I'm quite sure the rain helped it. Cucumber did well, and he'll be over there at the trellis real soon. And everything else did well. This pepper, it was protected from the potatoes. And the potatoes, y'all, when I did that short last night, I was on there hooping and hollering saying I'm gonna have to pull them today. But fortunately, the straw dried at the top because it's so windy today. But boy, at the bottom, it's not the best. Look at there, another baby potato. That's why I'm trying to keep it so that these baby potatoes can develop, because they are definitely growing. So it's supposed to storm again tonight. Here's my other one. Oh, okay, it's completely dry. That potato there is dry. So I'm just flipping a little bit. But I said I wasn't gonna flip because it's supposed to storm again tonight. Although the hay has dried at the top, that'll at least buy me some time. Put the wet hay at the top, then it's gonna get even wetter. Everything's gonna get even wetter later. So I'm gonna just leave it alone. But so far, the potatoes are still hanging in there. For how long, I don't know. Technically, I could pull them now because those were planted right before, was it before the eclipse or after? I have to relook at the film because it is dated and I wrote it down. But I can't remember. But I know the ones in the front were planted March. They were planted before the eclipse, because in that film I was talking to my neighbor and I was telling him about the eclipse. He didn't know it was going to occur. So that's how I know those were planted prior to April 8th. So the eggplant did very well. I uncovered these today just to let them get some air. They're doing excellent considering they didn't get transplant shock. I mean, they look no worse than what they looked when I transplanted them. But they're doing pretty good. Doing real good. nice and healthy, full of blooms. So within the next couple of weeks here, and we're supposed to heat up again after next week, and next week's rain that's coming is supposed to heat up again. So therefore, I should start getting more green beans. I see one right here that I missed the other day. I'm gonna just let them stay. See it right there? And I'm over 20 minutes, so I won't be much longer, y'all. Okay, peppers doing real well. They just started blooming and producing peppers. So this is the trick for me, getting them out that greenhouse and letting them do what they do out here. Look at there, I have peppers everywhere. There's my banana pepper that I had, and I've got a pepper over here. Y'all, I have no idea what it is. I said, I pray it's not a Scotch bonnet. I know it's not a jalapeno. I know where I put that. Here it is right here. I know where I put the jalapeno, but I have no idea what that is. It's a sweet, a Scotch bonnet. I looked up Scotch bonnet to see what they look like, so I know it's not a hot Scotch bonnet. And that's the only hot pepper other than that jalapeno that I put in the front keyhole garden. That's the only one. And I put the other jalapeno right here. And that was to keep squirrels out. It hasn't done anything yet, but it has survived. But yeah, I'm proud of that pepper, but we're gonna find out. And Renee, I wanted to tell you, girl, you planted, what was those peppers? Because I had them last year. Golly, the name eludes me, but I had those last year. I got them from the Grow Club. And yes, those are some good peppers. And that's what I meant to get this year, and I forgot. Either that or they didn't plant them last year. I mean, they didn't plant them this year because they did the Aju du Soleil, which is the Puerto Rican pepper. I have those. And I'm hoping that's what that is, a Aju du Soleil, because I hear that's a good pepper. Yep, these did well out here, but let me show you the patty pan. Then I'm gonna show you up front the new raspberry plant, and tell you what happened up there, or what I discovered up there, and then we're gonna get off. All three of the patty pans fell, and this wasn't animal damage. That is from those couldn't be fertilized. This is from the storm. That one right there, it's definitely from the storm, but it wasn't fertilized. I thought maybe it was because it was on such a strong branch. So I have no patty pans coming right now except that one. Oh yes, I do. There's one right there that just started right there. So maybe I'll get some action with that one. We'll see. I'll just keep going. It's like last year, I lost a lot of patty pans. In my patty pan, I had 2 plants. They were outside all summer. And the patty pans would fall, and eventually they started taking. When the bees came in August, that plant took off, and it made up for lost time. I'm telling you. Because when I would lose them earlier in the season, it wasn't that many. I might have lost, I would say, perhaps 10. But, oh man, once those bees came in and started pollinating those squash flowers, and the plant had grown bigger and was drawing the pollinators, I must have harvested. I still have patty pan in the freezer, okay? I ended up with a lot. I know over 50 plants, because I filled up I don't know how many bags, and I cut it before I filled up the bags. Now looking at the corn, I can see that it's growing. See the new stalks coming in right there? So I know that it's growing. All I'm waiting on is to see the silk. If I can see that silk by July, then I can prepare for an August or September harvest of the corn. Let's see if my scooter has charged. I'm taking this out of town with me because I know my sister have plans the next day, and she was like, well, you'll probably be at our cousin's, and it's not charged yet. It's still, let's see, it's still red, y'all. It'll turn green once it charges. I used this for the first time for the Eclipse trip. So it's been in the car the whole time. I never took it back in the house because I figured I would use it this summer. And so, but I'm taking it with me out of town because my sister was like, well, you'll be at our cousin's. You won't need that scooter. I was like, you never know. I said, People might be doing something else, you know, on Friday the 5th. I said, so I may need to go wherever it is you're going. I think they're going to do some sightseeing and stuff. So, and that's something I wouldn't mind doing. So if I go, I have my scooter. And it's easy to travel with. It's lightweight, very simple. And it's only 3. You put on the back, you put the seat on, and you stick the battery pack in. And then you fold that down, and that's it. You're ready to go. And each piece is separate, and each piece weighs no more than 10 pounds, which is my weight limit for lifting. Okay, so let's make our way here so I can show y'all the devastating discovery that I made on today. And I believe that this discovery, it isn't from, first of all, an animal. Went through my tool, y'all, bit right through it, so I put those clips there to but he didn't want that French tarragon, thank goodness. But I'm gonna get that French tarragon. I think I'm gonna move it or bring it up, or I'm gonna do something with it. My garlic is starting to die back, as you can see down at the bottom. So I'm gonna wait a couple of more weeks. The 15th is my projected day to harvest the garlic and the potatoes. See how wet that soil, that hay got overnight, and the potatoes are laying down because they got beat down. Hopefully they'll start dying off, because the moment they die off is the moment that they'll be harvested if I don't get a chance to harvest them first. See that? Okay, first of all, you can see where the tree used to be right there. This, I planted out the black raspberry plant on today. When I put the shovel in, because I didn't want to dig too deep, I just wanted to dig deep enough to where I can get a good root set in the soil, and I wanted to do some amending there before I put the raspberry plant in. And as soon as I dug up, it was a weed right in the middle of that. Y'all might have seen it last night when I filmed that. As soon as I dug that weed up and pulled it up by the root, there was this huge hole sitting right there. I'm like, this looks like the groundhog hole, but it wasn't as bad. But it was big enough to concern me, because remember I was telling you I trip all the time? Oh, here's one right here. Here's another one. See this? Oh, that's not deep at all. It's just a small hole. I'm touching it. It's probably about 1 inch deep, if that. Okay, but this one, oh, my whole body could have, well, not my whole body, but my foot. I said 1 more pound, because here I was mowing the lawn right here on this, and others as well. My neighbor, all it would have took, if I had gained 1 more pound, y'all, I could have easily gone down, okay? Because that hole was deep enough. It wasn't quite as deep as the hole in the back that we know that the groundhog dug, but it's deep enough. And I believe it came from when they chopped that tree down. Of course, you know, they have to dig out the stump. And so when they dug out the stump, I believe that it left a hole. They filled it in. They probably backfilled it, and it's worn down. We get so much rain in the summertime. That's what it looked like to me. And so then, so what I did was I had a lot of, in that wheelbarrow, I had a lot of soil in there. And then I had some dry soil. So I packed it in, stepped on it, made sure that the hole was totally closed and not collapsible. And then I mulched it in. But see how far those roots went down? And y'all saw those yesterday. Then I walked over here and my foot sank right there. So that's part of it. So I marked it because I'm going to get some, I'm gonna go get some more soil and sand, and I'm gonna fill that in as deep as whatever it is. I'm thinking it connects to this one, because I'm still afraid that it could turn into a sinkhole with all this rain that we've been getting. So yeah, that's devastating. So let me get from over here, because I said, okay. I was like, I'm not gonna be stepping over here, so no more cutting will be happening in this area here. If anything, I might grab the weed whacker and just weed whack this area and down there. And then I might not even cut up here. I can just weed whack this and just stick with cutting down here in this area down here. Okay, so that's about it. We are at 29 minutes. So sorry you guys that this took longer than what it should have, but with all that went on today, I had to explain. you know, what was happening. These flowers are starting to die, although I will not be cutting, although I will be pulling out the dead foliage. You see it at the bottom? The foliage on this does die eventually, and then I pull it out. But I'll leave it for the summer just because. I'm looking again. So I'm gonna have to sit out here in the greenhouse until that battery finishes charging. And it's cooled off in there too, so that's good. And I need to watch my plants. So that's about it, you guys. So I'm not gonna hold you guys any longer. So I will talk to you all later. Let's see what the temperature is now. Oh yeah, it's dropped. It's 79 in here now. It was 95. Oh, and I need to fill out my tag, white pine strawberry. Let me bring it right over here. And I need to write in a journal. Let me get my pen. That's what I can do, journal, while I'm in here, because I need to write the date. You know, I need to write about the hole. I need to write about the raspberry, the propagations. I have a lot to catch up on. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna get off of here and I'm gonna rest. Oh, and I should have brought my crocheting, because that could have been next. But anyway, I'm gonna get off of here. So you all have a wonderful evening and the remainder of your weekend, and may God bless you all. Talk to you later, and again, welcome new members, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.